So I committed to tackling my backlog every month for a whole year. I have already made a video with tips and tricks that I will be implementing throughout this year to complete that backlog journey. So if you haven't watched that one, I will link it below in the description. Make sure you either watch it now and come back to this one or go watch it after this. So with that out of the way, this endeavour actually started in December 2023, where I had a bit of free time after I finished my university course before Christmas to sit down and really play through some games. So I thought, what a perfect time to get started on that backlog and to those games that I've been meaning to play for a long time. So this is all the games that I managed to complete through to the finish or the ending credits in December last year. The first game that I went back and finished was Smurfs Mission Vileaf. I only actually had the final level to go, and for some reason I had just put down this game and not picked it back up again. There is a lot more I could do to get 100% and all the trophies, however, just making it to the end of the credits felt good. Smurfs Mission Vileaf is perfect for kids who can play video games on their own, minus a couple of annoyances with the controls and depth of perception for the platforming. It is a very straightforward video game. Also, the story is cute and you get to play as many of the different Smurfs throughout the game. The next game I got through in December is Advance Wars 1. Now this is only the first game in the double pack, but it still clocks in at close to 20 hours just for the campaign. If you want to add in all the war room levels and other mission levels, it would take much longer. One thing to note with the game on Switch is you cannot begin the second game, Advance Wars 2, without finishing the campaign of the first title. Advance Wars is perfect for short play sessions, with strategy gameplay really lending itself to pick up and play nature. You can do one match in under an hour or less depending on how good you are at tactics games. The familiar setting of war and war vehicles also makes it easy to understand the mechanics for newcomers of the genre. Pixel Cafe is the third game I finished off in December, and it is a cafe simulator. It has two different story branches, so once you finish one you can start the next. They can be played in either order too. This was both great and not so great, as when you start the second story, the first few cafes feel too easy to be managed compared to the final cafe of the previous story. Both stories centre around Pixel, a young adult who has moved back to her grandparents' home after they passed away, and follows her as she works at different cafes in the surrounding area. Each cafe can earn up to 3 mug, basically the rating on how well you did, and you need to achieve at least 1 mug in order to move on to the next level. There's also a lot of customization, with leveling up the work areas to decorating your home to leveling up Pixel herself. This game is cozy, and whilst it may have mobile game vibes, it lends itself perfectly to play in handheld mode on the Nintendo Switch. I can recommend it to anybody who likes those cooking business type simulators. It can get difficult at times, but after an attempt or two I was able to clear any of the harder levels. Pixel Cafe is also surprisingly long. It took over 10 hours to finish the main story, including completing a number of the bonus nightmare missions. The next game that I completed in December is Little Gator Game. This game had me feeling so many different emotions. At first I was sad for the character you play as due to his sister being too busy to play with him, but as I played through the game it was incredibly heartwarming that the other kids were going out of their way to indulge him and play along with his games. The ending was also very sweet. My only gripe with the game was a lack of direction. I did get lost a fair amount as I went along. This is fixed in post-game via items you receive, but I would have felt it more beneficial to have this for the main playthrough, as not a lot of us are probably going to do a second playthrough in New Game Plus. Overall, Little Gator Game is cute and cozy. Game 5 is Cocoon. Cocoon is a simple puzzle game. You play as an insect and you interact with these orbs to solve environmental puzzles. The game itself is relatively short. I finished it in under 4 hours, and the puzzles are linear so you cannot get lost. It has some great mechanics with each different coloured orb that adds a variety to the gameplay itself. I do have a full review on my channel, so if you want to know more about Cocoon you can watch that. The link will also be in the description. The final game that I saw through to completion in December 2023 is Florence. Florence is a short graphic novel puzzle game. By short, I mean 30 minutes for the whole story. The story follows 25-year-old Florence on her journey through a relationship and life. I would say this is more of an experience than a game, however it is so beautiful in the way the story is told. Florence won't be for everyone, but I did find it refreshing to play through such a unique way to tell a story. So there you have it, those are the games that I ticked off my backlog in December last year. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow my journey to beating my backlog throughout the year, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!